You won't believe what our power-hungry HOA president demanded when she forced everyone to keep their garage doors open all day. I stood my ground and called my brother-in-law, the chief of police. But what we uncovered in her office changed everything. Would you risk a $200 daily fine to protect your home? I stared at the bright red notice in disbelief, reading it 3 times to ensure my eyes weren't deceiving me. Mandatory. All garage doors must remain open from 8 a.m. to 8 p.m. daily, effective immediately. Non-compliance will result in a $200 daily fine. My hands shook with fury as I stormed inside, tossing the paper onto my kitchen counter. 5 years in Maple Grove, and the Homeowners Association had pulled some outrageous stunts, but this was beyond ridiculous. The phone rang. It was Lisa from across the street. "Did you get the notice?" she asked, her voice tense with frustration. "Just now," I replied. "This can't be legal." "Tom's leave YD," she said. "His golf clubs are worth thousands." Lisa sighed. Margaret Hensley has finally lost it. Margaret Hensley, our HOA president, with her sleek ponytail and constant scowl, the woman who'd find old Mr. Carter for HOA-ing a mailbox that wasn't the approved shade of beige, the same one who'd sent 6 warning letters when the Patel family's recycling bin lingered curbside too long. I hung up and peeked through my blinds. Already, neighbors were in their driveways, waving the red notices and arguing. My stomach churned as I spotted Margaret herself, clipboard in hand, striding from house to house with a smug grin. When my doorbell rang 20 minutes later, I wasn't shocked to see her standing there, tapping her polished shoe. "Good afternoon," she said with a fake smile that never reached her eyes. "Just ensuring you got today's notice about the garage door policy." "I did," I said evenly. "And I'm worried about the security risks." Her smile tightened. "The board voted unanimously after finding unauthorized storage units in 3 garages. This ensures zoning compliance. So everyone pays because a few broke the rules? Rules matter," she snapped. "Open your garage by 8 a.m. tomorrow, or face fines." She turned and marched off. I called my brother-in-law, Ryan. After I explained, he let out a low whistle. "That's practically begging for theft," he said. "As chief of police, I can tell you that's a huge liability for the HOA. Can they force this?" "HOAs have wide authority," he replied, "but not to create unsafe conditions. Send me the notice." That night, I watched neighbors reluctantly clear their garages. Tools, bikes, and lawn gear hauled inside or covered with tarps. Some rigged up quick cameras. At sunset, Tom, a retired attorney from down the street, knocked. "I've reviewed the HOA bylaws," he said, brows furrowed. "This rule wasn't properly enacted. Security changes need a 2/3 community vote. So it's unenforceable?" I asked hopefully. "In theory," he said. "But fighting Margaret means legal battles most can't afford." I barely slept, my mind racing. At 7:55 a.m., I peeked outside. Garage doors creaked open across Maple Grove, exposing personal belongings to anyone passing by. Mine stayed shut. At 8:15, Margaret appeared with her jittery sidekick, Greg, who wouldn't meet my eyes. "You're in violation," she declared, scribbling on her clipboard. "I'm protecting my security," I countered. "Bylaws require a community vote for safety-related changes." Her eyes narrowed. "We had an emergency board meeting. It's final. Then I'll need the minutes and voting record." Her face reddened. "Next month's meeting. Fines start today." As they left, I saw a gray van creeping down the street, the driver eyeing the open garages. A chill ran through me. By afternoon, social media was ablaze with complaints. Someone started a Shut the Doors group, gaining 50 members fast. My post about the van got shared widely. That night, I hosted Tom, Lisa, and a few others in my viewing room. We formed a garage door task force to fight back. "Why now?" Lisa, a paralegal, mused. "Margaret's been president forever. What's different?" Tom flipped through old HOA financials I'd requested. "Look, landscaping costs tripled last year." "Hensley Landscaping, her husband's company." "Confirmed," Tom said. "Something's fishy." The doorbell rang. It was Greg, looking nervous. "I shouldn't be here," he whispered, glancing back. "The garage rule isn't about storage units. Margaret's cousin runs a security firm. They're scouting homes for a discounted system they'll pitch next month." My jaw dropped. "That's illegal." "I've said too much," he muttered, vanishing into the night. Next morning, a DULA 200 fine was taped to my mailbox. 6 other homes kept their doors shut too. I called Ryan. It's escalating. Margaret's profiting off this. Interesting, he said. I might need to VY sit officially. Outside, I heard yelling. Margaret was blocking Mr. Patel from closing his garage after he spotted someone suspicious. Rules are rules, she shouted. My tools are in there, he argued. I recorded it, hands trembling. This was too much. That afternoon it happened. The Clarks, who'd complied, came home to an empty garage, tools and bikes gone. Police took statements, shaking their heads. Margaret showed up, denying blame. Theft happens everywhere. Not when we can secure our homes, I shot back. She pointed at me. Your fines doubled for stirring trouble. My phone buzzed. Ryan. Found dirt on Hensley Landscaping. Meet tomorrow, 9 a.m. The Clark theft ignited outrage. By morning, 3 more homes reported losses, all from open garages. Ryan arrived in full uniform. Ready? He asked, reviewing notes. We drove to the HOA office, a quaint building at Maple Grove's entrance. Through the window, Margaret sat at her desk, shuffling papers. The receptionist gaped at Ryan's badge. Chief Daniels to see Margaret Hensley. Official business. We were ushered in. Margaret's smirk faded when she saw me. Mrs. Hensley, Ryan began. I'm investigating thefts linked to your garage policy. She straightened. That's an internal HOA matter. We're not liable. Creating conditions and inviting crime makes you potentially liable, Ryan countered. Break-ins within 24 hours of enforcement aren't random. Her assistant, Sophie, slipped in with files board minutes. I glimpsed financials. DULA $50,000 to Hensley Landscaping. DULA $30,000 to Secure Home Tech. Same address. Interesting reading, I noted. Margaret covered them. We're done. My lawyer will call. Speaking of lawyers, Ryan said, the DA's looking into misappropriated HOA funds contracts to family businesses without bids. Margaret paled. Absurd. All board approved. By a board with your cousin and husband? I asked. She stood. Out. Now. Ryan placed a document on her desk. Suspend the policy pending investigation. As she sputtered, Sophie knocked over files. Secure Home Tech brochures spilled out. Next month's plan. I asked. Margaret's voice shook. Meeting's over. In the lot, Ryan mused. Those records could sink her. Warrant. Need more EVY Denke, I said. But there's public opinion. I called an emergency meeting at the library. 75 homeowners came. Tom explained the illegal policy. The Clarks shared their theft. I hinted at financial ties. We voted for an audit and new elections. Margaret's allies squirmed. Next morning, Greg pounded on my door. They're targeting your house. Last night's emergency session accelerated your fines and added a lien for disruption. Legal? No, he said. They're betting you can't fight it fast. I rallied Tom and Ryan. Lisa's reporter friend, Jenna, arrived with a camera as Margaret approached with legal papers. Mrs. Hensley, Jenna called, Channel 5 News. Comment on break-ins tied to your policy? Margaret froze. Private business. What about DULA $80,000 in contracts to family firms? Jenna pressed. No comment, Margaret hissed, retreating. The story aired. HOA policy sparks theft wave. Neighbors rallied online. Late that night, a USB drive appeared in my mailbox with a note. Boardroom footage. Not about storage. A friend. It showed Margaret, her husband, and cousin plotting to exploit open garages for their security pitch. I sent it to Ryan, Tom, and Jenna. Next morning, Margaret's SUV idled outside. Name your price, she said. To end this. No fees for a year? That deck you wanted. Resign today. I replied. Reverse your policies. She laughed. My husband knows the mayor. My cousin's connected. I've got 75 fed-up neighbors, and your VY Deo. She paled. What VY Deo? Emergency meeting, noon, I said. Everyone's in VY Ted. As she drove off, police cars pulled up. Warrant for stolen property, an officer said. This is a setup. I protested. They found a drill from the Clarks' theft in my garage. Not mine, I insisted. Check fingerprints. Neighbors watched, confused. Call Chief Daniels, I said. He's recused, they replied. After searching, I showed them my camera footage. Margaret's husband planting the drill at 3 a.m. We'll take this, an officer said. Tom waved me over. Property record her family's buying foreclosed homes here via shell companies, triggered by HOA fines. The crowd grew furious. At the meeting, nearly all of Maple Grove showed up. Ryan and Jenna's crew arrived. Margaret raged. No media. Tom cited bylaws cameras stayed. I played the planning footage and showed the records. Fraud, she yelled. Ryan stepped up. Warrants link Hensley firms to these schemes. DA wants to talk. Officers cuffed her and her husband. Greg moved to end the policy and fines unanimous. New elections followed. A year later, at a potluck, kids played freely and garages stayed closed. I'd become treasurer, rewriting rules for fairness. Margaret got 5 years for fraud. Healing began, but her shadow lingered. A new family moved into her old house. Tell them our history? Lisa asked. Later, I said. First, let's welcome them. We'd fought for our homes and found our community.